20 Fords, 15 Chevys, and 8 Pontiacs are set to go. Here they come out of corner number 4. Onto the tri-oval, Bobby Labonte and Michael Waltrip are in the front row. And the green flag waves.
Green.
Bobby Labonte was not among the 12 drivers who led a lap here last year, but he leads lap number 1 in 1999 over Michael Waltrip and Joe Nemechek.
Now Bobby Labonte's led all 3 races in 1999. Only Jeff Gordon's led the other 2. Never seen Tom Hubert, the 19 car. Has fallen back a few spots as DJ Dale Jarrett on the inside.
Oh, Jarrett way loose.
Air off the spoiler, and there was some contact between Jarrett and Kenny Irwin, but meanwhile they're 3 abreast on the start-finish line. There's 3 rows of 3. Well, there must be 5 abreast.
This is a nice, wide, smooth racetrack, and it does make for multi-groove racing. And I don't know, Jarrett continues to lose positions here.
I think right now Jarrett is being careful, as I would suggest that he does.
We understand that there was no contact, according to some of our spotters around the racetrack. He just got loose there in the 3rd and 4th corners. Boy, that was almost a disaster in the early going.
And look at the Ward Burton down on the apron of the racetrack, the flat part of the racetrack, making a pass, trying to make a pass on Tony Stewart. That's Stewart in the orange 20 car, Ward Burton, the Caterpillar, number 22.
This group. That's Jeff Burton in car number 99. The 9 car is Jerry Nadeau with some different sponsorship on that car. This week was the Cartoon Network car. This year flying with this race, rather, flying the colors of the WCW and NWO. This is back in about 13th, 14th, 15th, and on back.
Jeff Burton, the 99 car, the Exide car, was the fastest car in practice. Happy hour yesterday afternoon started 19th. Has worked his way up to 14th.
Had a tremendous run here last year, Jeff Burton did. As a matter of fact, he was penalized for speeding on pit road, but still came back to finish in 2nd position after starting 15th. We're on board. We're there for a moment with Bill Elliott, who's right behind Terry Labonte. It's again 3 wide down through here. Nadeau in the middle and Rick Mast in the 98 car on the inside.
Tom Hubert, the white car, the number 19 Bradford white car. Last Sunday, 2 weeks ago, Rockingham, he was changing right front tires on Steve Park's car. Here in Las Vegas, he qualified in 4th spot. Yeah,
he's been the tire changer on the number 1 car for the last 2 races this year, but now is in the cockpit. A battle for 3rd position as Jeremy Mayfield has taken it from Joe Nemechek. And look at Mike Skinner in the 31 car come up to challenge Nemechek.
He tried to get into that spot that Jeremy Mayfield had opened, but the 42 car Nemechek quick to go down to the inside and block that move by Mike Skinner.
On board with Mike, who is the current NASCAR Winston Cup points leader, and Hubert is losing positions. He too got a little loose in the corner. Here comes the 16 of Kevin LePage sneaking up to the inside of Nadeau.
And here comes Dale Jarrett. I would guess that he and Todd Barrett, the crew chief on this quality tier 4 number 88, made some changes this morning, feeling like the car was going to have a lot of push in today, and got the car extremely loose. As a matter of fact, the first few laps, it was a little bit too loose.
It has been a guessing game weather-wise. Of course, weather is very important as to how you set up the car. The forecast was, if we take a look at how Dale Jarrett has fallen from 8th position back to 21st. The weather was supposed to be cloudy, very cool, and very windy here this afternoon. But, Johnny Benson and
Right behind you, keep
Tony
coming.
Stewart crashing here in the tri-oval coming out of corner number 4. And amazingly, it looks like there were only 2 cars involved.
Now that's the advantage of a great wide racetrack. Here's a race back to the line. This is for the 2nd spot between Michael Waltrip and Jeremy Mayfield. There's the leader, Bobby Labonte.
Tony Stewart's car is rolling here in the tri-oval. Johnny Benson's car is down in the infield grass, so there's no race car on the track to be concerned with. But they reduce their speed, come down, get the caution flag with Labonte, Waltrip, and Jeremy Mayfield in that order.
A lot of damage to both those cars. Both Benson's, Cheerios car. He's taking the car directly to the garage area. He didn't stop in the pit area, straight to the garage area. And I'm sure that's where Tony Stewart will be taking his car. I noticed Tony Stewart's car, the right front wheel is about 45-degree angle.
Stewart in the wrong place at the wrong time. Let's take a look at it. Here is Benson coming out of the 4th corner, and boom.
He just loses control, and when he comes off the corner, there's Tony Stewart with no place to go. Chad Little just barely gets by. Look at all these cars get by now. Luckily, Benson goes to the grass, Stewart goes to the outside, and leaves the middle open for all these cars.
Miraculous, though, that these cars, as close as they were, did not become involved. Here's another look at it.
You see Benson gets the car loose. When he corrects it, he goes up, smacks the wall, and watch. Tony Stewart, heavy contact right in the right front wheel.
And boy, Chad Little was very, very lucky that he was not collected in that incident.
Let's check out the ride of Jerry Cope has a state fair onboard camera. Okay, let me hit the gas and get by this quickly. You see how, I mean, these cars are traveling at 160, 70 miles per hour as they come off the corner. If something happens in front of you, there's nothing you can do. You can see Cope, all he was able to do was back off the throttle, and when he saw it was clear, get back on the throttle.
Down to John Kernan.
And Ernie Irvin has decided to come in and pit. They were near the back of the field from where they started. They will make a chassis adjustment in the right rear, trying to loosen the car just a little bit. It'll be a 4-tire change. Also, they'll get fuel, so it will put them somewhat out of sync with the other guys in front. Other drivers, Ernie is down on the way. Other drivers come on to pit road. Kenny Irwin Jr., Kenny Wallace and Buckshot Jones now to Bill Weber.
Well, Dale Jarrett has told his crew chief, Todd Parrott, that in the early laps of the race, the car was very, very loose. It was okay on entry, loose getting off the turns, but it is getting better. They talked about pitting under this caution to fix the problem. They decided to stay out when the leaders stayed out because the car is getting better. They're going to try and make an air pressure adjustment, come up 1 pound on the right front tire to improve the handling of Dale Jarrett's Ford.
To say the car was loose in the early going of this race is a bit of an understatement, Benny. Here's what happened to him earlier.
Yes, just the first couple laps. Watch, Kenny Irwin is right behind him, and he goes up. And when the car gets that close, you get some of the air off that rear spoiler, loosen that downforce, and you saw Jarrett's car almost spin out. He did a great job, and you got to move up the racetrack to catch that car. But there's cars all around.
We are back under green at Las Vegas Motor Speedway after a 3-lap caution period because of the incident involving Johnny Benson and Tony Stewart. You can see that Bobby Labonte continues to lead this race. Jeremy Mayfield has gone to second. Michael Waltrip in the 3rd position.
Last lap, Jeremy Mayfield, the only driver able to run over 162 miles per hour. All the other cars in the 161 range. See Ward Burt still trying to go forward. The black and yellow number 22. There we see the first 15 cars probably all in the single file.
One of the drivers in the incident that caused the first yellow, Tony Stewart. He's with Jerry.
Heavy damage on the Home Depot Pontiac for this 27-year-old rookie driver. And Tony, it looked like you were a victim out there.
Yeah, not much of a place to go, really. I mean, it's a shame because this car was really good in happy hour yesterday, and the guys, Greg and all the guys, gave me a great car. I mean, this Home Depot Pontiac was going to be something I think we could have taken to the front today, but just some not very smart things happening early in the race out there.
Assess the damage. How bad is it?
Oh, it's tore up pretty good right now. I mean, we're going to have a pretty good yard sale at Joe Gibbs' shop tomorrow, I'm sure.
A lot of very despondent Tony Stewart.
It's a battle for 21st position. That's Brett Bodine in the 11 car and Ricky Craven on the outside. And Craven had a very good qualifying effort.
Started in 6th spot.
And a change of leader as Jeremy Mayfield sneaks to the inside of Bobby Labonte and comes off the 4th corner, and he's going to lead lap number 17.
Jeremy Mayfield ran awfully well here last year. And here, look at this. There is Skinner in the middle. The $1 million guy going for $1 million, 3 abreast.
2 guys there, 3 guys going for the $1 million. Irvin in the 28. There's Gordon in the 24 and Skinner in the 31. All of those drivers are eligible for the $1 million bonus here this afternoon.
That's a battle for about the 5th, 6th, 7th spot. Burton. When the guys come down to block that move, they just keep going right down on the apron of the racetrack. You would think it would upset the race car, but so far I've seen no evidence of it.
Well, in qualifying, we saw the guys dive off of corner number 4 and put all 4 wheels below the white line, go into the apron to complete their qualifying run, and they're doing the same thing here this afternoon. Let's take a look. Looked like Kenny Irwin was a little loose coming off the corner and almost got up into Skinner.
Yes, but then as they start coming down the racetrack, he has no place to go, so he just drives the car on the apron of the racetrack, and the car continues straight.
On board with Mike Skinner, there is Irwin on the outside of him.
Mike Skinner losing some positions.
He's now back to 9th, Irwin in 8th.
Skinner started in the 5th spot.
Jeff Burton and John Andretti doing wheel-to-wheel combat, as up front it continues to be Jeremy Mayfield leading Bobby Labonte by about 0.3 of a second. Jerry Punch is with Johnny Benson.
Johnny, unfortunately, you're a part of the first caution flag of the day. What happened?
That run on the outside, it was pretty good, actually, and I got loose a little bit off forward. I think I got too high, and when I got too high, I ran out of racetrack, hit the wall, and spun. So, kind of bad deal. Went to Churros Taurus running pretty good, just a little early on, I guess.
Can you get back out?
Yeah, but it broke the frame on the left front pretty hard, so we're going to weld it and see what happens and just get back out for some points. But guys doing a tremendous job trying to get back together, but it's not looking good at the moment.
They're working feverishly back behind Johnny Benson, but 1 of the 5 Roush cars already having a rough day.
Great racing here. 3rd on back. We're seeing Joe Nemechek there in the 42 car. On back again, a mad scramble for position.
Michael Waltrip, the Phillips Klausner car, starting outside pole. Running for that Winston Noble million is now falling back to, that's about it for the 6th spot.
And you can see there the drivers eligible for the $1 million bonus and where they're running right now. Jeff Gordon is currently 7th. Kenny Irwin runs in 8th position. Mike Skinner in 10th. And Dale Earnhardt, who started back in 38th position, has made some great strides, now running 22nd.
You know what, Kenny Irwin likes that apron on the front stretch, doesn't he? That's a couple times we've seen him down there trying to pass cars.
And you know, one thing, Benny, last year that we didn't see a great deal of, everybody seemed to want to run on the bottom of the racetrack, but that's not the case even at this point of the race in 1999.
Even in happy hour yesterday afternoon, I saw cars running around the top of the racetrack, the same place that right now Michael Waltrip is running. And if there's anybody here that will run the top of the racetrack, it will be Michael Waltrip. He just seems to love the top side.
Right now, he's getting a challenge from the 28 car driven by Kenny Irwin. Irwin slides to the inside, trying to pick up that position. Jeff Gordon is down on the bottom of both the 31 and the 22 cars. And now Irwin and Michael Waltrip are side by side, and Irwin picks up that 6th position momentarily.
And here comes Michael trying to get back, but Irwin goes up the racetrack. Now Michael's extremely high, about the spot that Johnny Benson was just a few laps going to crash.
The 22 car has put on a great performance here in the first 24 laps. Ward Burton up to 7th position. There he is.
And started in 30th.
Yep. You can see how he moved from 21st to the 7th position at the end of 24 laps. Now Jeff Gordon goes to the inside of Michael Waltrip, and Michael begins now to lose more positions.
And they're all using that apron. The groove, the preferred line down the front straightaway, the cars will come off turn 4 right against the wall, and they'll go straight down the start-finish line, and they'll actually tip the apron with their left front. So if someone's trying to pass you, go down there and they just drive on the apron of the racetrack. We've seen that happen a few times, and Elliott decided he would not go in 3 abreast as Jeff Burton is on the inside of Mike Skinner. And there's John Andretti, the STP car, up in about 10th spot.
Indeed, Andretti has now taken the 10th position. Started back in 15th position. On board now with Mark Martin, the defending champion of the Las Vegas 400. And of course, he's the most recent winner in NASCAR Winston Cup competition, having taken the checkered flag 2 weeks ago at Rockingham.
Mark started lucky 13th, but right now he is currently 15th, so he's fallen back to the starting spot a couple of positions.
Up ahead of him, the 16 of Kevin LePage on the left and the 94 of Bill Elliott on the right as they battle for the 13th position. From high overhead, you can see how wide this racetrack is. A lot of racing room out there. These overhead shots courtesy of the Pennzoil Copter Cam, which will continue to fly over Las Vegas Motor Speedway all during the afternoon, bringing you the shots. Here is Bobby Labonte reassuming command of this race, and he will go to the front of lap 28.
Looks like the 12 and 18. The 18 of Bobby Labonte, the green car. The blue and white number 12 of Jeremy Mayfield cars very, very equal in speed.
Last lap, though, the fastest car out there was Terry Labonte, who's running in 3rd position. He ran a lap of 158.8, whereas the leader of the race was at 157.9. It's Labonte, Mayfield, Labonte, Nemechek, and Wally Dallenbach, the top 5. Welcome back to Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and a great battle up front. Bobby Labonte, Jeremy Mayfield battling for that lead, but suddenly Terry Labonte becomes a factor.
When you talk about NASCAR and constantly changing the rules, trying to come up with spoilers to make the cars equal, a Pontiac is leading, the 42nd, and the Chevrolet is 3rd.
Certainly in the early going of this race, we have seen a lot more racing already than we did the entire race last year. Well, for a taste of the race, let's go on board and check out the telemetry from Bobby Labonte's car, courtesy of the State Fair Corn Dogs people.
All right, this is Labonte as he goes down the backstretch up to 8,600 RPMs. Watch as he touches the brakes. That indicator, the bar indicator, tells you how hard he's on the brakes. At Martinsville, that would go all the way across. We saw here that Labonte just barely laid his foot on the brakes. Doesn't use a lot of effort. We see the cars right down to the inside line. We go down to turn 1. We see 8,700 RPMs there. And once again, very little brake around this Las Vegas Speedway.
Jerry Punch, looks like that 18 car is handling pretty good.
Well, Bob, it is, but Bobby Labonte has said when the race began they were loose, and now the car has gotten looser and looser and said it's loose all the way around the racetrack. But he's one of a number of drivers that are having the same problem. A lot of guys behind him. We've seen Michael Waltrip already fade as his car is loose. Mark Martin's car, number 6, also complaining that the cars are very loose. You wonder why or how can these guys miss the setup so far? Well, the weather forecast for today was for cloudy, cold, and very, very overcast. They missed it on all 3 counts.
Indeed they have. Terry Labonte has just taken 2nd position away from Jeremy Mayfield. We've been watching Terry for the last few laps. He has been consistently faster than everybody else, but really the story of the race so far in the first 36 laps has been Ward Burton, who is now in 4th position. And if you were in Las Vegas last night and looked at the boards, you saw that he was 60-1 odds.
After dinner last night, Bob and I walked over to the sports book and checked out the odds on some of the drivers, and Ward Burton 60-1. And Jeff Gordon, the DuPont Chevrolet, losing spots. And look at Ernie Irvin. Irvin is up to 14th spot after starting back in 40th position. And as a matter of fact, made a pit stop and started even farther back than that.
More from John Kernan.
Before the race, I went up to talk to Ernie Irvin and wish him well, and he said, "You don't want to interview me right now, dude." He says, "We've been running like junk. We start 40th, had to take a provisional." Remember, that first caution, the only caution so far is Terry Labonte. Looks like he's making a bid for the lead on the 18 car, his little brother Bobby. Ernie came in, they made a chassis adjustment, took 4 tires under the first caution, and he has been like a rocket ship, motoring his way toward the front in the 14th position now, fighting Kevin LePage for the 13th spot.
So Terry Labonte has indeed taken the lead away from Bobby Labonte. And last year, Terry was the only non-Ford driver other than Dale Earnhardt in the top 15. Look at this on-track AutoZone interval report on Ward Burton and how he has closed up on the leaders.
And we see that Burton is running almost exactly the same speed every lap, 34.1. 4 of the 5 laps were 34.1 seconds. The other lap, a 34.2. And we see Jeremy Mayfield going by Bobby Labonte to take over the second spot. That's Jeremy in the 12, the blue and white car. And here comes Ward Burton getting closer and closer to that Kent car.
Looks like that the rule changes that NASCAR mandated for the Atlanta race, the last one of last year, to even up the competition is definitely working. Now it is the number 12 car who is running in third position. Bobby Labonte is second. Terry Labonte is the leader of the race. Ward Burton is fourth, and Kenny Irwin is running in fifth position.
What happened? I thought Jeremy passed Bobby Labonte. I turned my head and look what happened.
Retook it, and Ward Burton down on the bottom of the racetrack is closing up on this lead trio.
And the last lap by the start-finish line, the 28 car, Kenny Irwin, had the fastest lap of the first 6 cars. Watch all these cars as they're going in the corner and drifting up the racetrack. And I'm sure that the 18 and 12 car are loose. They're going in the corner, have to chase the car up the racetrack and use all the banking to slow down so they can turn the car to go back the other direction. Ward Burton doesn't seem to be having that problem. Watch the 12 car drifts up the racetrack. 18. Again, that's to use that banking to slow down and sort of turn back into the other direction.
Ward Burton did not have a bad race here last year. He started third and finished 18th, leading 5 laps. And he now is taking or trying to take away the third position, and does, from Jeremy Mayfield.
Kenny Irwin, the Texaco car, getting closer and closer. Here comes Jeff Burton trying to get by Dallenbach. Battle for the 8th position. Bill Elliott, a great run today for Elliott, McDonald's car.
Ward Burton had a fast car during happy hour last night. Now Elliott looks to the inside of Wally Dallenbach as the 25 car slides up the track a little bit. And Bill Elliott takes that position. Here's a Napa field summary for you showing the points as of now.
What happened to Skinner? Oh, actually we're back to 6th spot. Now then, we have the 10 cars surrounding the other cars. We'll see how he handles in front and behind cars. He's been having the racetrack all to himself. As he's gotten closer to the front, he can't have that luxury.
Bill has more on Kenny Irwin, who's doing an outstanding job in 5th and closing in.
Certainly is, Bob, and the reason he was fastest on the track a couple of laps ago, he was free of traffic, and he just told his crew when they asked him how that 28 car is handling, he goes, pretty good, no problems. He's trying to build momentum after a strong start to the season and is charging forward here in Las Vegas as well, trying to reel in Jeremy Mayfield, Bobby Labonte, Ward Burton, and Terry Labonte.
Kenny Irwin finds himself in 6th place in the point standings going into this event. And our overhead shots as we follow the cars around this 1.5-mile racetrack, courtesy of the Pennzoil Copter Cam. 44 laps have been completed here. It is Terry Labonte who has the lead, but now look at Ward Burton as he is looking to the inside, and Ward may get the lead away from Terry. We'll see who leads at the line. Yes, Ward Burton has taken the lead from Terry Labonte.
We'll see Tommy Hubert, the Bradford White, number 19, started on the outside of the second row, about to be lapped by this 5 cars. What a great battle for the top 5 positions.
3 wide here for second position. Mayfield and Terry Labonte now make it a 2-car battle side by side as they head for turn number 3. And there goes Ward Burton around Hubert, putting him a lap down in 40th position. Burton begins to check out a little bit here as he's put a few car lengths between himself and these other 4 drivers who are having a tremendous race for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Bill Weber.
Early problems for Ricky Craven. Unscheduled stop with 46 laps on the board. They've changed the tires, but the hood is up. Smoke has billowed from underneath it. So Ricky Craven could be one of the first casualties here in Las Vegas.
Well, he has finished 22nd or worst in the last 5 races. Ricky Craven trying to turn things around here this afternoon, but not having much luck here in the early going. 47 laps completed, about 3/4 of a second lead for Ward Burton right now over Jeremy Mayfield, with Kenny Irwin, Bobby Labonte, and Terry Labonte in the top 5. Has gone to the front. He passed his brother Ward a few laps ago and now begins to pull away just a little bit. As you can see, Kenny Wallace has lost a lap, and here's how Jeff got the lead from Ward.
Coming off turn 2. Right now, Jeff Burton is just outrunning Ward down in turn 1 and 2 badly. He was able to get on the outside. Now, Ward is able to run about as well as Jeff up in 3 and 4, but 1 and 2 where Jeff Burton in the Excite car has a tremendous advantage.
Jeff was best in happy hour last night. Ward was second. And that's how they run right now, with 94 out of 267 laps completed in the Las Vegas 400. For you Tony Stewart fans, he has returned to the racetrack. We have 2 cars that are off the track at the moment, only 2. Those would be Ricky Craven and Johnny Benson. And everybody else is still running. Tony Stewart is 81 laps down. Took him that long to get the repairs made after the contact with Johnny Benson. There's the 12th car of Jeremy Mayfield. He's running in 3rd position, about 2 3/4 seconds behind the leader, Jeff Burton.
The last lap by, Jeff Burton, the leader, was the fastest car.
Here's a 4th place car of Mark Martin, closely pursued by the 5th place car of Kenny Irwin. And once again, Kenny's having a good run.
Both these cars able to get by Bobby Labonte in the Interstate Batteries Pontiac and have driven away from him in the last couple of laps. This is a battle going on for a spot about 5 seconds behind the leader, Jeff Burton.
And there is Bobby Labonte, the pole sitter for today's race, back in 6th position, about 6.5 seconds behind. And as we continue to check out the top 10 for you, there's the 94 car of Bill Elliott. And after field summary, we'll show you the manufacturer's points battle going on.
So far, it's been a great day for the Pontiacs.
Here's how the Fords are running.
And now it's a great day for Ford because right now we have Ford in the top 5 position with the Ford Taurus.
There's the 36 car of Ernie Irvin running in the 8th spot. John Andretti's behind him in 9th. And one of the no bull contenders is about to go a lap down. Dale Earnhardt running 24th as Jeff Burton sneaks up on him. Going down the backstretch. He's going to try to, but be unsuccessful in his attempt to put Dale a lap down.
You know that Earnhardt is going to fight just as hard as he can to stay on that lead lap.
John Kernan has a report on Dale Earnhardt.
And that's exactly what his car owner, Richard Childress, has told him. He said, Dale, turn it up, do what you can do to keep that 99 car behind you because he's just a little bit better than us right now. In fact, Earnhardt's spotter was watching the line that Jeff Burton was running out on the racetrack and trying to translate that to Dale Earnhardt so he could try that same line to see if it would work for him. So it would be interesting to see if Earnhardt can hold off the challenge of Jeff Burton, who's just a little bit quicker right now.
Encouraging Jeff Burton to continue running the pace he's running. They figure he's about a 10th faster than everybody else right now. His last 3 laps, a 33.90, a 33.97, a 33.87, then a 34 flat. They're telling him to be smooth, and his crew chief Frank Stoddard has told him the smoother you are, the better it is for your fuel mileage. One topic of discussion between driver and crew chief is how Jeff's brother Ward did what he did during that last pit stop and still came out the leader.
Well, he did it by sliding through the grass and actually going faster than the pit speed of 45 miles an hour, but his slide was in the grass and not on pit road. And Earnhardt is just trying everything he can to stay on the lead lap.
And Jeff Burton was running around 159 mile per hour average before he caught Earnhardt. The last time by, his average was 154.69. So this is really slowing him down as he tries to get by Earnhardt. But Earnhardt just doesn't want to lay over and play dead because it's $1 million if he can stay in the lead lap and win this thing on the last lap. And here comes Ward.
The caution is out, we understand. That's why Ward Burton is sneaking up on Jeff Burton, and Dale Earnhardt will not go a lap down, but Ward Burton crossed the line first as the yellow comes out.
How about Earnhardt? That tenacity that Earnhardt had saved him from going a lap down.
The caution is for debris on the racetrack, and there it is. And it's our second caution of the afternoon. It comes out on lap number 102, and the debris has actually, I think, been hit by a car as it went by, so they may have to look for it. In any case, the pace car has come out, and now the field will bunch up behind it.
And we'll see a scramble once again in the pits, because every car will now take an advantage of this caution flag to make a pit stop. Now it's up to the crews to see what they can do as far as track position. What can they get Jeff Burton out in front of Ward? Can Ward stay in front? How about Jeremy Mayfield? Can he pass both of them in the pits?
The pits are open. You can see that guy there on the right waving the green flag. 24 cars will undoubtedly come in because they are on the lead lap. The cars on the lead lap are eligible now to come in for the pit stop. Watch everybody come down again at 45 miles an hour or under. Long string of cars as each of them head for their respective pit boxes. Ward Burton, the first to arrive on the top of our triple split. Down to Jerry Punch.
A Pontiac on top, a Ford in the middle and on the bottom. Ward Burton's pit stop at the top of your screen. Caterpillar crew, left side of the car now. They'll make an adjustment on the pinard bar and an air pressure adjustment, trying to tighten the car up. Work that in front of you, Bill Weber.
The stops continue for Mayfield and Burton. They have made a chassis adjustment for Jeff Burton and also taken 1 pound out of the right front. Mayfield is away. They drop the 99. He's got a clear path in front of him. He beats out the 6 next to the 18, and the rest of the field follows him down pit road.
Boy, it is a mad scramble.
The scramble is to get that white line right on the end of pit road. That's how they line the cars up. The cars that win the race to that white line. There's Bobby Lamont, the interstate car, Bill Elliott, and there we see Jeff Burton. Looks like he might have lost some spots on that. We'll have to check it out when they come by the next time.
Track crew is out there looking for the debris that has caused this caution. In first and out first in our Coke pit summary. Jeff Burton lost 2 positions. His pit stop was about 2 seconds slower than Ward's.
Yes, and Kenny Irwin lost a spot. Let's go down to Jerry Punch.
Update Bobby Labonte, the Interstate Batteries Pontiac pit stop. They made a track bar or pinard bar adjustment and adjusted air pressure in 2 tires to try to loosen the car up. They had gotten it too tight in that run. That's why Bobby Labonte had slowed down. Now, up pit road from him, Jeff Gordon, defending Winston Cup champion, they made a wedge and tire pressure adjustment in that car to tighten his car up. It was too loose. Let's check in with Bill.
Well, the 28 team says Kenny Irwin continues to run very well. The car starts loose, then gets a little tight. They're saying tire buildup may be contributing to that. They're going to try and make an air pressure adjustment. They also told Kenny on his next pit stop, keep your foot on the brake. He rolled forward 2 inches. That slowed him up. Mark Martin had a bad stop, 18.61. They had a miscue with a tire carrier. They added 1 round of wedge. John Kernan.
Ernie Irvin, after starting way back 3 cars from the end of the field, has moved his way into the top 10, currently 9th after this round of pit stops. They made a slight air pressure adjustment. Also, they made a slight adjustment in the right rear of the chassis just to kind of loosen the car up just a little bit to free it coming off the turns.
Side-by-side battle here, Kenny Irwin and Bill Elliott. Battle for 5th position up front. It remains Ward Burton, but now Jeremy Mayfield is right behind, very close behind. We haven't talked much about Rusty Wallace, but he's doing very well. He's in 13th position right now, just behind Jeff Gordon.
Rusty started back in 37th spot. Drives down in turn 3. Jeff Gordon on the inside. That's Jeffrey Bodine, the 60 car, currently running in the 11th spot. As Gordon goes by, Rusty going to try it on the outside. There's Ricky Rudd. He'll kind of impede the progress of Rusty Wallace.
Jeffrey Bodine, final this year. Caro by Joe Bessie.
And he's been a real shock in 1999 because he has been running super both races so far, Rockingham, Daytona, and here he is in Las Vegas, just out of the top 10.
Jeffrey started second and finished 13, leading 14 laps last year here in Las Vegas. On board with Mark Martin now, looking back to Bill Elliott. Martin is 6th, Elliott 7th. And Benny, we mentioned the fact that that caution was a real break for Dale Earnhardt. It was also a big break for Michael Waltrip, who was also standing to lose a lap, but the caution saved them.
You see Rick Mast, no Joe Nemechek. Nemechek at 42, Mast in the 90. Here comes Michael Waltrip, the 7 car, the Phillips car. You were just talking about him. Trying to work his way back to the front. He's currently back in the 25th spot, but only 6 seconds behind the leader instead of 35 seconds behind.
Jeremy Mayfield only about a car length behind Ward Burton as they go down the backstretch. That last lap, Ward Burton was the fastest of over 162.7 miles an hour.
Running with this group of cars. He's 25th, a lap down, but hanging with the leaders pretty good right now. There's Kenny Wallace, 55, the blue and yellow car, squared E car. He's also a lap down, as well as Jerry Nadeau, the number 9 car on the outside.
Mark 25th, Wallace 26th, and Nadeau 27th in the serial. The leaders that we have had today, we've had 8 different leaders and 15 lead changes as we watch Kenny Irwin go to the inside of Jerry Nadeau and clear him. Ward Burton, Bobby Labonte, Jerry Mayfield, Jeff Burton, Terry Labonte, John Andretti, Ernie Irvin, and Sterling Marlin have all led laps here today. The most have been led by Ward Burton, 45. Bobby Labonte has led 25 laps. The notable 5 contenders, Kenny Irwin still doing the best, running 5th. He's the only one, in fact, in the top 10 at the moment. Jeff Gordon just outside the top 10 at 11th.
Right along with Wally Dollenbach right now, the Budweiser Chevrolet. He's back in 15th spot. Actually, he's backed up to 18th spot now. I see the 97 car, the John Deere car, Chad Lilly in front of him.
Lost 3 positions in that last lap.
Earnhardt going by his teammate Skinner. And Mike Skinner qualified in the top, qualified 5th. Earnhardt took provisional, and now Earnhardt is in front of Skinner.
Just ahead of Dale Earnhardt is a 30 car of Derek Cope, who is now in 32nd position. Here comes Skinner to the outside, coming off corner number 2.
Derek Cope looks back at Earnhardt. Earnhardt keeps that car right on the white line. Cope not able to do that. Drifts up the racetrack. Gives an opening to Earnhardt. He drives on the inside. Now Nemechek alongside Skinner. It's Nemechek to Bell South. Skinner 31. Oh, and Ricky Rudd's off the pace.
Drops the car to the apron of the racetrack. Well off the pace is Ricky Rudd. You can see smoke coming from the car, Benny.
Yeah, sure can. And that's never good news or a good sight out of a race car. But there's not a lot of smoke, so maybe it isn't that bad. We'll just have to wait and see what the crew finds.
He had already lost a lap and was running back at about 31st position, but now is going to be headed for pit road. There's Mark Martin, who takes the spot away from Kenny Irwin, and Mark moves to 5th.
Or other cars. Steve Grissom.
Steve Grissom is involved. Also, Elliott Sadler in the 21 car. This on the backstretch on lap 118.
Oh, man.
Boy, the high hopes that Michael Waltrip had coming into this race after an outstanding qualifying performance.
Now he does now. Now he does now. Here he comes. Here he comes.
It's Terry Smith, the spotter.
You got Flint. Right rear, look at it good. Right rear, look at it good. Let's just get 4 tires, quick as we can. 4 tires, quick as we can.
Down to Bill Weber.
Yeah, I might get a pit road penalty.
Well, Michael Waltrip, after the impressive 2 days here, including the great qualifying run, is forced to limp down pit road. They've got damage to the car. They're going to go ahead and put on the right side tires. The left front is flat. They're going to have to pull some sheet metal away. All in all, though, the car really doesn't look that bad. So Waltrip's going to try and, you know, get back out there. The left side is good. The right side has the damage. So they're watching the crew, the official checking the lug nuts. Meanwhile, we expect some full field of pit stops here. Now they urge Michael Waltrip to continue on down pit road.
Meanwhile, here's another round of pit stops. Hasn't been very long since they were in, but will take the opportunity as the cars on the lead lap, all 24 of them look like are going to be in. Jerry Punch.
Although Ward Burton and many of the leaders will pit now, they will still, by virtue of not getting that good a gas mileage, particularly this car here, need to pit 2 more times. Right side tires only, and Ward Burton is down and away. Let's go to Bill Weber.
Right sides only for Jeremy Mayfield. A quick stop, and he continues on his way, followed by Burton, Jeffrey Bodine, and the 99 car of Jeff Burton jumps into the mix.
And Jeremy Mayfield's guys get him back out in front. And what's Mark Martin? He's not able to get the car up to speed. Now he starts moving.
Very slow there for a while as he started to head out of his pit, but now the car seems to be working okay. But he did lose several positions before he reached that line, and that line there at the end of pit road is the determining factor as to how you line up for the restart. And Ward Burton, who was leading, will not be the leader as we go back to green. The caution coming out on lap number 118. It occurred coming off corner number 2, headed down the backstretch.
And Michael Waltrip, the 7 car, just loses control. He spins back across the racetrack, and look as he stands on the gas, and Steve Grissom comes along and pows in the side of him, lift the whole car off the ground. Meanwhile, Elliott Sadler spins down by himself, and I don't know if Elliott hit anything or not. He was heading for the inside wall when we last saw him, but and some pretty good damage to Steve Grissom's car.
A lot of front end damage to the 91. Here's another angle. You can see Michael was running a little high, maybe got up in the loose stuff.
This looks almost exactly like his spin in Daytona in the 300-mile race, the Busch Series race, when Andy Santerre.
And Mark Martin, Benny, is coming back in, so there may be a problem with that car, Bill Weber.
Well, there's a problem with it. They're going to be able to fix it. They were going to go with 2 tires. Then they thought maybe about 4, so they took the right sides off, put the new right sides on, started to work on the left-hand side, and then Mark took off. So they had a miscommunication. They had to come back in, look at left side tires, and then send Mark Martin back out. He's going to lose a lot of track position. These guys have had disappointing pit stops the last 2 times under caution.
Very unusual for Jimmy Finning, Jack Roush, those guys to make a mistake like that. Mark Martin also in the mix.
Well, the 91 car of Steve Grissom is being removed from the backstretch grass area as the 3rd caution of the afternoon continues to wave on Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Jeff Burton 2nd, Ward Burton is 3rd. Jeffrey Bodine running in 4th position, and Jeff Gordon is 5th.
Wow. Gordon's running in 12th spot before the pit stop, so obviously that's him, the Rainbow Warriors. A great move in the pits.
There's the NASCAR Winston Cup reigning champion in the 24 car. Again, one of those 5 drivers eligible for the $1 million.
Jeff Gordon is making a move. Has gone by Jeffrey Bodine, take over the 4th spot. Meanwhile, Jeff Burton trying to get his eyes on Jeremy Mayfield.
We saw who gained and lost during the pit stops in our co-pit summary. Ward Burton lost 2 positions. Jeff Burton stayed the same. Jeremy gained 2. Mark Martin from 4th to 18th really got hurt. He stopped twice, of course. And Kenny Irwin also lost 4 positions in that most recent round of pit stops. And now Jeff Burton closes in on Jeremy.
Back there finally we get to Mark Martin as as he trails his teammate Chad Little, the green car, the John Deere car.
John Kernan has a report on Rusty Wallace's pit stop. He is back to 8th position.
Well, Bob, we saw quite a few drivers take on only right side tires during that last pit stop. But Rusty Wallace's crew decided to go with 4, no other adjustments, and they did it right at 17 seconds. Ernie Irvin was one of the drivers who picked up a couple of spots by taking right side tires, but he probably would have picked up a few more, although they had problems getting the fuel into the car, so that slowed him up by about 3 or 4 seconds for Ernie Irvin.
Battle for the lead as Jeff Burton in the 99 and Jeremy Mayfield in the 12 battle side by side, and Ward Burton also closes in at the line by just a fender. Jeremy Mayfield led that 127th lap as we approach the halfway point.
And Ward Burton is 1/3 of a second behind this group, or so the computer says.
And Jeff Burton takes the lead from Jeremy.
And once again, Jeff Burton did it down in 1 and 2 by passing the competition on the outside. He is making some ground down in 1 and 2.
Jeff Gordon running in 4th. Terry Labonte is in 5th position. There's the 28 car. He got way out of shape and has fallen back to 11th. And we'll show you how that happened.
The very right of your screen, we see Kenny Irwin, the Texaco car, going in the corner on the outside of the 30 car of Derek Cope. And wow, you're right. Almost up in the loose stuff. He did go to the gray area, but luckily the tire buildup is not the tire excess material off the tires have not accumulated up there, and he didn't spin.
So Rusty was able to get around him, but now he begins to move back toward the front and is up to 9th spot. John Kernan is with Elliott Sadler, one of those involved in the most recent accident.
Bob, the good news is Elliott's been checked out. He is all right. Elliott, what happened?
Just looked up. A couple guys got sideways in front of us, and I guess I just panicked and locked them up and spun out to the inside. And when I really haven't been as low as I am right now in a long time, just a lot of apologies. A lot of people at Sitco and Wood Brothers for not doing my job so far this year. Just turned up stuff, not supposed to do that, but maybe we'll get it turned around next week.
Elliott Sadler out of for now. The Wood Brothers are continuing to work on the car, but man.
Oh, we've got Irwin, we've got Kenny Wallace, and several others involved in the crash. Joe Nemechek in just about the same area of the racetrack as the previous one. Mike Skinner looks like he's involved. No, that's Derek Cope.
Is he all right?
Man, oh man.
Good job on that right side. Just do right side.
There's
Okay,
Cope.
who's pit?
He has some front end damage on the State Fair Corn Dogs machine.
Buckshot Jones involved.
A lot of debris on the racetrack. Several cars involved in this incident. There goes Joe Nemechek pulling away. Still stopped out there. That appears to be Bill Elliott. Oh, a tough break for Bill, who was running so well.
Yes, he was running about 10th, 11th spot. Folks, he's not stopped at the drive-through. He stopped at the grass back on the infield.
Safety crew is right there. Bill. Okay, the window net is down on the car. That's the indication to everyone that the driver is okay. He's unbuckling. We'll take a look at what happened to bring out this 4th caution of the day.
Kenny Wallace drives up on the outside of the 28 car. Now, the 28 car needs to go up the racetrack, but they make contact right there as he tries to come up the racetrack. And look at all these cars with no place to go. John Andretti, was he involved, or was he able to get through? With the smoke and the dust, it's so hard to tell.
Well, it looked like he got through, but I don't know whether there was any damage on the car. Dale Jarrett did. There's the contact that sent Kenny Wallace to the outside wall and Irwin spinning to the inside.
And then we see Elliott coming along with no place to go. There's Derek Cope, Joe Nemechek, all these cars going down to the inside. And this grass just does not slow the cars down. And we see Irwin nose into the inside wall.
From Wally Dallenbach's perspective. Boy, Boy, that smoke comes up. You have no idea what's going to be on the other side of it. Here we go. He got hit 2 or 3 times in the melee. There's Kenny Irwin. He's out of the car, but the 28 Haviland Ford is severely damaged. Because of a multi-car crash coming off corner number 2.
Kenny Irwin, the 28 car, the Texaco car, gets the car a little bit loose right there. When he has to go up the hill to chase the car, to catch the car, Kenny Wallace, the 55 car, was there. They spin directly in front of the world, it seems like, because here comes a dozen cars with no place to go. And look at Irwin as he still stands on the gas trying to get the car to go around, and just creates more smoke and less visibility for all those guys behind them.
You see on the far right, he did have contact with the inside wall. Here's another angle.
Right there, we're going to see just a little tire puff. When the 2 tires touch, Wallace goes up, pounds the wall, and check Derek Cope, Nemechek, John Andretti. John Andretti must have gone through the grass. He's made several pit stops, so obviously he has a little bit of damage to his car.
From the Pennzoil Copter Cam.
This is going to be a great shot here. We can see that Irwin there, he loses control, goes up the hill to catch it. They make contact, and then it all starts.
We're back to racing here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway as Jeff Burton in the number 99 Exide Ford has the lead by about 0.6 of a second over Jeremy Mayfield there in the number 12 car. Ward Burton is in 3rd. In 4th position is Jeff Gordon. Terry Labonte is running in 5th. We saw the big wreck just a few moments ago. Kenny Wallace was involved. Here's John Kernan.
Kenny's crew is working, trying to get the car fixed, replacing the trailing arms. Kenny, what happened?
Well, it was on the outside, you know, about 5 laps after a restart, and I guess Kenny was loose. And we come up off of turn 2, and he got loose, and when I guess he tried to correct it, you know, Kenny Irwin's 28 car got into my car, and, you know, I was just a victim of circumstance. So, you know, it's just a bummer. You know, it's, you know, what else can you say? You know the way the deal goes. It's like, are you disappointed with these early season disappointments? Well, heck yeah, I am. You know, but what can I do? I'm a victim of circumstance.
Just a little bit of bad luck. Let's go to Dr. Jerry Punch.
Well, here's what's left of the front of the Texaco Haviland Ford Taurus of Kenny Irwin, and he came up, and the very first thing he did was apologize to the crew. Kenny, one of those racing days, looked like you almost had the car saved.
You know, we got loose on new tires and just got a little loose and evidently bumped Kenny, and just a bad deal because we were running so good and we were going to be good all day. Just terrible for the Texaco guys.
Has to be disheartening for this young man. When he walked up, there were almost tears in his eyes when he walked over and put his arms around his crew chief and said, "I'm sorry."
Former USAC champion coming out of the open wheel ranks to run in NASCAR Winston Cup competition his 2nd year. Well, we are past the halfway point, and as a matter of fact, the Gatorade $10,000 money has just been awarded to Jeff Burton. They run 5 green laps after the caution. He's the leader, has led 26 of the 142 circuits, 17 lead changes. We've had 4 caution periods for 18 laps, and the average speed is considerably off the track record set last year by Mark Martin at 146. The lap leaders have included Ward Burton. He has led the most laps. Jeff now continues to add to his total. And we have another page. Andretti, Ernie Irvin, and Sterling Marlin have also led this race. Here are the cars that are off the track at the moment, trying to get repaired, or at least they're assessing the damage to see if they can get back onto the track in some cases. And as far as cars officially out of the race, only 2, Steve Grissom and Ricky Rudd. Jeff Burton with about a 1.5-second advantage now on Jeremy Mayfield.
Rich Bickle in the 10-10-345 car just has gone another lap down for the leader, Jeff Burton, and Darrell Waltrip. Old D.W.'s passed the Rich Bickle car to move into the 25th spot. So put the big K's Kmart car in 25th for Darrell Waltrip.
They are both running just behind the leader of the race, Jeff Burton, who comes down to complete the 182nd lap of this event. We go down to Bill Weber.
Well, right now, it looks like the 99 bunch may be dodging a bullet because they weighed their options coming in under that last caution, but they weren't in their fuel window. We're just a few laps away from coming in for a pit stop here. They warned their gas man to make sure he gets the tank full. They expect Jeff Gordon to hit pit road this time. Frank Stoddard has told Jeff Burton, I will warn you when to start watching for your fuel pressure light. They are going to cut it very close. Let's go to Jerry Punch.
Well, Bill Gordon, good news is the car now is neutral, handling flawlessly. The bad news is, by him pitting right now with Ward Burton coming down behind him on pit road, that means neither of those cars will be able to make it the rest of the way without another stop. They'll both be about 15 laps shy on fuel. They will need help from a caution flag. Here comes the defending Winston Cup champion, Jeff Gordon, to a halt. The crew now going to the right side, expecting right side tire changes on that car and left side. Now right side on the Caterpillar car, left side on the Caterpillar Pontiac for Ward Burton. Now Jeff Gordon's car gets a windshield clean, down and away, no adjustment whatsoever on Jeff Gordon, and likewise the 22 car also down and leaving pit road.
That's Tony Stewart, who's in, and so is Jeremy Mayfield as he looks for his pit box at 45 miles an hour, relinquishing the 5th position to come in for his next stop. And the crew goes to work. Notice it only takes one pump of that jack to get the car up off the ground. Doc?
Paul Andrews and the crew, the Mobil 1 crew, going to work on Mayfield's Ford Taurus to try to get it completely full of fuel. They have got to get these cars full of fuel. Bobby Labonte also in a major chassis adjustment, both the track bar and the wedge adjustment on the Interstate Batteries Pontiac. Now they go to the left side of that car as Mayfield has already gone. They're getting it full of gas, full of gas, full of gas, and now Labonte is down and away. Let's go down to Bill.
Jeff Burton is on pit road. The car had stalled. He called the crew and said, I'm coming this time. He's got to refire. They've got the ether in it that helps him refire it. Now it stalls again. They wanted to make an air pressure adjustment on the left side, take half a pound out. They have the tires on. Burton hasn't refired. Waiting on the left. Burton looked up. Jeff Burton is back underway.
17.1 second pit stop for Jeff Burton. So, Benny, they're all going to have to come in again because we're well outside of the time that it will take to complete this race. They're going to need at least one more pit stop.
But, Bob, I think there's a couple of cars that might be able to make it the rest of the way. So it might come down to fuel mileage.
Welcome back to our ABC coverage of the Las Vegas 400 from Las Vegas Motor Speedway, located about 10 miles to the northeast of Las Vegas. The overhead shot courtesy of the Pennzoil Copter Cam. From high above down to the trenches in a NASCAR Winston Cup pit stop, the ABC Crew Cam.
This is Mike Houston, the front tire changer on the M&M's car, Ernie Irvin's car. Mike Kaluka, the right front tire changer. Takes the nuts off. Mike Houston gets the tire in, they tighten it up. He goes around, he grabs the tire, takes it back, then goes to the wall, grabs the other tire that's going on the left front. Now, as soon as Kaluka gets the tire off, he slams it on the hump. They tighten the lug nuts and say, wipes off the grill. Let's go. Oh, we got to wait on the third tire change.
And just that 1/10 of a second or so could mean a major difference on the racetrack. Meanwhile, here's the leader of the race, Mark Martin.
Now, go figure this out. Jeff Burton says he ran out of gasoline in the Exide car. Mark Martin's still on the racetrack, still running, and both these cars are earned and tuned by Jack Roush. Bill Weber, what's going on?
Well, Benny, Mark Martin stopped under the most recent caution, even though they weren't in their fuel window. Same with Dale Jarrett. That's when Mark got 2 tires and DJ got 4. That's when Burton opted to stay out because they weren't in their fuel window. Terry Labonte hits pit road. So more pit stops here at Las Vegas.
Dr. Jerry Punch, he's headed toward you.
This is one of the teams that talked about the possibility of being able to win this race today on fuel mileage. They will pit now. You mentioned a moment ago, Mark Martin. He will pit in 8 laps. Here comes the Kellogg's machine to a halt on pit road. Andy Graves and the crew now going to work. The tearaway windshield to give Terry Labonte, a clean look at the final laps here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Jack beneath the left side of the car. One can of fuel tossed across the wall. Second can of fuel going in. The clock, the watch is ticking. Trouble with the left rear. Trying to collect himself. He revs the engine. Labonte is down and away.
But almost 21 seconds in the pits for Terry Labonte, a slow pit stop compared to some of the others that we have seen during the afternoon.
10 years ago, that was a great pit stop, and in 1999, they've got to be somewhere around the 17-second flat to be a great pit stop.
As Labonte gathers speed and goes back onto the racetrack, we tell you that Mark Martin continues to lead, as you heard Jerry say he'll be in soon. Meanwhile, Jeffrey Bodine has chosen to make this the lap that he makes his pit stop on. He was running in 7th spot, but now the crew goes to work on the power team car.
With Jeffrey Bodine, 71 laps remaining in the race. He will not be able to make the rest of the way, you wouldn't think. But Mark Martin, every lap that he makes gets him closer and closer to having to make just one final stop.
And other cars that have been pitted here include Dale Jarrett, Dale Earnhardt, and Mike Skinner.
John Andretti also, the 25 car. Wally Dowling back has to stop. Chad Little has to stop. Kenny Schrader.
15 Chevys and 8 Pontiacs are set to go. And here is Mark Martin just trying to get as many laps in this segment as possible. That will eliminate the need for a late fuel stop. Well, he's continuing to stay out there. We do expect him, however, to come in next time by. We'll keep an eye on that. Here is second place being contested between Dale Jarrett and Mike Skinner. Skinner in the 31 takes the spot from DJ. And there is Dale Earnhardt also right there. We're looking at 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. All 3 of these guys need pit stops before long.
Hey, Jarrett is coming in. It looked like Jarrett run out of gas. Jarrett run out of gas coming off turn 2.
He's made it, however, to the warm-up lane and is headed in, but Mark Martin did not come in. He's chosen to stay out there and stretch it one more lap. Jarrett, however, is on pit road.
And he's going to lose so much track position because he had to coast from turn 2 all the way around to the front stretch. Bill Weber.
I'm not sure the crew knows that Jarrett is out of gas because they stepped on each other on the radio. Dale Jarrett had called from the backstretch to tell him that he was out of fuel, but Todd Barrett was talking to him at the same time. Their voices crossed. Jarrett very slow down pit road. The crew anxiously waiting. Still waiting. Jarrett basically just creeping to his stall. Now he's back. The car not running. They'll spray ether in to try and get it refired. First, it's going to need fuel. Jarrett gets it refired, then it stalls. They pull away the tearaway sheet on the windshield. Right side tires are on. Still trying to get the car to fire. Second can of fuel going in. Now Jarrett has it fired and running. Left side tires going on. Lug nuts are tight. Dale Jarrett's away. Very disappointing. John Kernan.
Dale Earnhardt's crew finishing up the work as Mark Martin comes on to pit road. For Earnhardt, he can go the rest of the way without stopping for fuel. Let's go down to Dr. Jerry Punch.
Mark Martin making his final stop. For those with calculators at home and Mark Martin fans, he will have to go 66 laps to the conclusion of this race. The most he has gone today is 63. But the man who makes the fuel calculations also owns the car. Jack Roush says, we are going to roll the dice. We're in Vegas. We're going to try to make it from here. Right side tires on the Valvoline Ford. Now the left side. Crew scampering around. Critical pit stop. What they plan to be their final pit stop of the day. To possibly win 2 in a row. Let's go to Bill Weber.
Mike Skinner is on pit road getting 4 tires, and Larry McReynolds told him as he came to a stop, we are going the distance. We are going the distance. We're trying to get every ounce of fuel in there. Skinner on his way, encouraged by McReynolds. You're back racing, and he is off of pit road.
And if he can stretch it and come home first, Mike Skinner will pick up $1 million. Right now, with all of those having made pit stops, the lead recycles back to Jeff Burton. John has an update on Dale Earnhardt.
As far as fuel mileage goes, no problem for the Intimidator to make it the rest of the way without stopping. I just talked to his car owner, Richard Childress. He said that time they went 68 laps on fuel. They have 67 to go, so they have told Earnhardt to go for it and keep digging.
Are you calculations going on, right, Doctor?
You're exactly right, Bob. Jack Roush owns 5 race cars, but calculates primarily the Mark Martin Valvoline gas. And Jack, I guess you've made the calculations. You're going to roll the dice and go the rest of the way. Can you make it?
Well, we think we can. You know, if the car is really good, the gas mileage isn't very good. You know, if the car is not very good, the gas mileage is better. We made our calculation when the car wasn't very good. Based on that, it looks like it can go. We went 66.5 laps the last time, figuring something for the cautions. This time we only need to go 66 laps. It should work out if we got it full.
Mixed emotions. You don't want a caution flag because the 6 car can go all the way, but you need a caution flag because your other car, Jeff Burton, can't.
Yeah, those gas mileage definitely wasn't quite as good as the 6s. They made a decision that they wouldn't come for a splash of gas, which they probably should have, but they made a decision which they wouldn't come, so they're committed now. They've got to stop. The 24's got to stop. Most of the good cars have got to stop, but we've got a chance to go.
Okay, good luck, Jack.
Thank you.
Jack Roush sort of trying to figure out which way it could go today. He can win either way. How about down in the Mike Skinner pits, Bo Weber?
Larry McReynolds is his crew chief. He's got the calculator out. He's telling his driver to be smooth. When he came in and pitted, he told him we were going the distance. Right now, they're waiting for Skinner to come down the front stretch. There's a slow car on the front stretch. Larry, can you make it if we stay green?
Fuel mileage number says we can. You know, I think the spoiler here, should it stay green, we can make it. I think the spoiler's going to be the 6 car. He seemed to run the same distance, so he should be able to run the same distance as we did then. So he could put his spoiler if it stays green and we can't go all the way.
Good luck. It could all go out the window, though. The 55 car was very slow on the racetrack. If he doesn't get back to pit road or pull off, we'll have a caution.
Right now, Mike Skinner is running in the 8th position, but is one of those who could go the rest of the distance.
We know that the 99, 22, 24, 12, the first 4 cars right now cannot go the rest of the distance. Now the question mark, Bobby Labonte in 7th and 6th spot, he can't make it. But Mark Martin, can he make it? If he can, then he probably will beat Mike Skinner and Dale Earnhardt. This is Kenny Wallace. He's made a lap. The car is running, so I think he will be able to get back into the garage area. And one reason he went out to run one more lap, he probably gained a couple of spots on cars that were behind him by running one more lap. He picked up a couple of spots.
And every Winston Cup point is valuable when you get down, especially to the closing races of the season. The leaders today, those that have picked up 5 bonus points for leading: Jeff and Ward Burton, Bobby Labonte, Jeremy Mayfield, Mark Martin, Terry Labonte, John Andretti, Ernie Irvan, and Sterling Marlin. Those 9 drivers have led laps. We've had 19 lead changes in the course of this Las Vegas 400. Here's a State Fair field summary. Mike Skinner continues to hang on to a narrow points lead by just 3 over Mayfield. Mayfield gaining 3 positions in the point standings as of right now.
Kenny Schrader stands a chance of losing 5. And look at Ward Burton. If he can continue, he would gain 15 spots. Ernie Irvan would gain 10 spots. Early on in the season, a good run, you can jump up close to the front.
Mark Martin last week with his victory moved from 31st to 8th in points 2 weeks ago at Rockingham. We saw that Ward Burton recently took over the 2nd position from Jeff Gordon. Ward is about 9.2 seconds behind Jeff. So again, the Burton brothers are running in 1st and 2nd position. There comes Ward.
9.5 seconds behind, so he's losing ground each and every lap. Jeff Burton has, just like last year here at Las Vegas, has had an extremely fast race car. ESPN refused to go a lap down. Finally, Burton just gave in because he was getting his tires so hot. He decided to ride behind Earnhardt and try it again.
Dale is running in 10th position, by the way. John Kernan?
Well, we know Jeff Burton has to stop for fuel. Dale Earnhardt not expected to stop for fuel. But Vinny, I have a question for you. A few laps ago, he radioed in and told the crew that the car had gotten very, very loose on him. How will that affect the car as far as fuel mileage goes?
It should help, John, because he's not able to use accelerator that much if the car is loose. So it really ought to help fuel mileage.
And Burton continues to work on Dale Earnhardt, but still is not able to put Dale a lap down. That's Tom Hubert in the 19 car, who has not had nearly as good a race as he had qualifying run on Friday. Hubert currently in 30th position, 4 laps down. Now Burton to the inside of Earnhardt once again.
Tries it again. And this is what we saw for 3 or 4 laps just a moment ago, side by side.
The tenacious Dale Earnhardt just won't give up.
All these cars are able to get a really good run off turn 2. We saw what happened to Kenny Irwin when he came off turn 2 in a similar situation. The car got a little bit loose. He and Kenny Wallace made contact. Burton realizes that Earnhardt is holding him up. He's faster than Earnhardt right now, but he's got to get by. He just keep knocking him out of the way to get by. He's got to pass him cleanly, and it's being very difficult. Watch his Cherry Labonte's coming up. Almost caught these 2 cars. Now Burton, he might have enough room if he can move up. No, here comes Earnhardt back on the outside.
Terry Labonte running in 11th position. He started the race from 12th spot. And he's catching up to both Burton and Dale. Let's check the speeds at the line. Burton with a 157.1. We're waiting for the 22 car. His brother, he's running in 2nd position. He was faster.
Because he's running side by side with Earnhardt. It's really slowing the 99 car down. The 12 car is running faster, but he just can't get by Earnhardt. Check the Mark Martin. He can make it the rest of the way, and he's still running faster than the leader. 158.3 miles per hour.
But even faster was Ernie Irvin at 158.367. Almost an identical speed to Mark Martin.
I'll tell you what, that's pretty good speed. 157.4 running side by side with Dale Earnhardt all the way around Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
You would expect the 22 is faster because he isn't running in the traffic and battling alongside a car as Jeff is. And this battle with Dale Earnhardt by Jeff Burton is helping his brother Ward catch up. Ward has shaved the interval from 9 seconds on lap 221 to 8.3 on lap 225.
Yeah, you see how inconsistent Jeff Burton is and how consistent his brother is. 34.7 Jeff Burton, down to 34.1, up to 34.5, 34.3. And Ward Burton's laps, each one of them almost identical. See, 39 laps to go. Ward Burton, he's got to pass these slow cars too, or these slow cars too, when he catches them. So.
But again, we remind you that if the race goes green the rest of the way, Jeff Burton, Ward Burton, Jeff Gordon, and Jeremy Mayfield all will have to make pit stops, but Mark Martin may not have to. We'll be back after these messages and a word from our ABC stations. Forget about all that calculating. The caution has come out and the pit stops have been completed. Everybody needs gas and new tires. And now the battle is on out of pit road. Looks like that Ward Burton has come out first. The caution was brought out when Jeffrey Bodine's car started smoking down the backstretch, and NASCAR wanted to check the track for fuel, or for oil, I should say.
And Jeff Burton will go from leading the race to back in 3rd spot. There we see Jeffrey Bodine off turn 2. Heavy smoke out of the back of that car. He will take the car to the garage area, and that's sad news for Jeffrey Bodine. A great run going.
Indeed, he did, but it's all over for Jeffrey Bodine. And it really puts a whole new perspective on this race, BP.
Yes, that's exactly right, because
it is Ward Burton who is leading this race right now, with Jeff Gordon running in 2nd. Those cars that are on the lead lap have made their pit stops. Now pit road is open for those who are not on the lead lap.
And only about 35 laps to go. Jeff Burton's car in the long run is extraordinary. It's very, very good, but it might not be that much better than these other cars in a short run. In 35 laps, it's like a Saturday night feature.
Flag comes out, and Benny, this is going to be good. It no longer now is a gas mileage race. We're going to find out who has the best car, who's the best driver, as we restart the Las Vegas 400 on lap 236.
And what a great start that Ward Burton was able to get as Dale Jarrett in the Ford Quality Care number 88, the blue car on the inside. He's trying his best to get a lap back. Also, John Andretti, the STP car, trying to get a lap back for these guys in there between Ward Burton and this guy in second place, Jeff Gordon.
Dale Jarrett running in the 12th position, a lap down, and John Andretti is 13th, a lap down. Now Jeff Gordon is to the inside of Jarrett and sets his sights on the leader of the race, Ward Burton. Jeff Gordon is one of the No Bull 5 contenders. So is Mike Skinner. He is in the top 5. He's running in 4th position, as a matter of fact. And there is Jeff Burton, who had the lead until this most recent round of pit stops. He's running back in 3rd.
Trying to get by John Andretti, the STP Pontiac. Here comes Skinner. He's right behind, but now alongside John Andretti.
Jeremy Mayfield is right behind the 31 car of Skinner. He is in 5th spot. Then Mark Martin, Bobby Labonte, Ernie Irvin, Dale Earnhardt, Rusty Wallace, and Terry Labonte. Those 11 cars on the lead lap.
The 99 Exide car has been fast all day long, but once again, on long runs, he really excels. He's just not that much better than the competition on these short runs.
Ward Burton has only one NASCAR Winston Cup victory in his resume. That came back in October of 1995 at Rockingham. There is Jeff Burton running 3rd. He has clinched the most laps led here this afternoon for the 2nd consecutive race. He also did at Rockingham.
Jeff Gordon was the fastest car, almost a half mile per hour faster than Ward Burton. And here we see Jeff Burton trying to get on the inside of Dale Jarrett, trying his best to get in contact with the first 2 cars. And Dale Jarrett, what a quality move that was. Just backed off, let Burton go, because he knows the disappointment that Burton would feel if he's not able to get up into 10th for the win anyway.
A quality move by the driver of the Quality Care Ford, Dale Jarrett, who is a lap down and just moved over and let Jeff set sail for Jeff Gordon. Gordon has reduced the interval, as you can see, by less than 3/10 of a second now. It's down to a matter of car lengths up front.
That time by 0.6 of a mile per hour faster than Ward Burton. Here comes Jeff Burton. Mike Skinner's back there. That time, the 99 car, Jeff Burton, was the fastest car. Faster than Ward Burton, faster than Jeff Gordon. Here's Gordon on the outside, trying to take a look.
Taking a look out of corner number 2, but will fall in behind Ward Burton and not make a challenge at the moment. Let's see what the strategy is as he heads into turn number 3. Jeff Gordon has won 3 of 4 No Bull races and also won a Winston Million. So he's going for his 5th $1 million bonus this afternoon. At the line, they're side by side. And Jeff Gordon now with about a half a car length advantage. But look at the tenacious Ward Burton.
And now we see Jeff Gordon with the car on the outside, got a little bit loose, and that left the door open for Jeff Burton. Here he comes on the inside.
Jeff Burton takes 2nd position from Jeff Gordon. It once again is a battle of the Burton brothers. Ward and Jeff running 1st and 2nd, and then Jeff Gordon. The crowd is on its feet. All 130,000 people are screaming for their particular favorite driver as Gordon again challenges for 2nd spot.
Jeff Gordon can't go in the corner along on the inside of someone because he needs that air to lean against when he gets in the corner. last time when he was on the inside of Ward Burton, he got the car extremely loose.
Mark Martin and Jeremy Mayfield are running side by side. This is the battle for 5th position. Mayfield gets those left side tires down below that white line in the corner. Mayfield in 5th position now, and Mark Martin in 6th. They are running about 2 3/4 seconds behind those up front. Ward Burton, last lap, 29/100ths of a second lead. But the last lap, the fastest driver on the racetrack was his brother right behind him, Jeff. Ward Burton continues to hold on to the lead, but Mark Martin has a problem and has drifted back to 9th. Bill, what's wrong?
His crew says that Mark has called in and says he is down to 7 cylinders. So Mark Martin will try and limp his Ford home here in the closing laps on 7 cylinders.
There is Rusty Wallace. We're on board with him right now. He and Mike Skinner, the only 2 drivers to finish in the top 10 in both races coming into this event in 1999. And right now, Rusty is trying to get back into the top 10. He was 11th and now passes Mark Martin and goes to the top 10. Mike Skinner, the other driver, finished in the top 10 both races, and he is currently running in 4th position.
Steve Parton, Pennzoil Chevrolet, also drives by Mark Martin. Steve is back in 17th spot, 1 lap down.
Jerry Nadeau, we will tell you, has also dropped off the pace. In fact, he's back in the garage area. Back up front, it's that much between 1st and 2nd. Ward Burton and Jeff Burton are the combatants.
Last time by, Jeff was a little bit quicker. We can see right now he's keeping that car on the bottom of the racetrack. Ward drifted up just a little bit and now nose to tail down the backstretch with just 14 laps to go.
Jeff Burton takes a look on the outside of his brother Ward. Is he going to be able to make the pass on the outside? They come off corner number 4 and get oh so close. And here is Jeff Burton now possibly making the move to the lead. They go into turn number 1 and they are side by side all the way through the corner.
Jeff Burton was not able to pass Dale Earnhardt, but he was on the inside. Looks like the outside is the place he needs to be, but here comes Ward back on the inside. They're still nose side by side, I should say.
Brotherly love could turn to a brotherly shove here in the next few laps, but you know these guys have a tremendous amount of respect for each other, and they have driven a very clean race so far. Look how close they are, though.
But what this is doing is letting Jeff Gordon get back in the race. These 2 brothers are battling each other, and Jeff Gordon's getting closer and closer. He's only a little over a second behind the 2.
Field summary from the State Fair people. They still are wheel to wheel and side by side. Jeff Burton now on the outside gets a slight advantage with a good run, but coming off the corner, Ward Burton continues to maintain the advantage. That lap almost too close to call. I think maybe Jeff will get credit for leading that lap. But can you imagine these 2 coming down for the checkered flag side by side?
If this keeps on going for the next 10 laps or so, Jeff Gordon will have something to say about who wins this thing, because he's just 1 second behind these 2.
He reduced the interval by about 2/10 of a second last lap. Gordon now within 1 tick of the clock. There he is. As once again they come down to the stripe, and they're side by side.
Jeff Gordon gained 1/3 of a second. 1/3 of a second that last lap. He's now only 2/3 of a second behind. But now it looks like Jeff Burton might have a run off the corner. Yes, Burton takes the lead.
Jeff Burton takes the lead on lap 258 with less than 10 laps to go.
That just might have sealed the fate of Jeff Gordon as he tried to chase these guys down.
Among those 3, Burton, and Gordon. Jeff Gordon, of course, the only driver eligible for the $1 million bonus. And Jeremy Mayfield has a problem. He relinquishes 5th position to come in for a late pit stop. And look at Jeff Gordon. He's indeed closing in, Benny.
last time by, he was a little bit quicker than the leader, Jeff Burton. As we see Kim Burton watching, she can barely watch.
AutoZone on-track interval shows you that Jeff Gordon in third position. Reduced the interval from 1.2 seconds to 0.7 of a second in the no bull. When people are really looking on with interest.
It's worth $1 million if Jeff Gordon can win this. The first two cars are not in for the bonus.
Here are the numbers from 1.2 second interval on lap 253 to a 0.7 of a second interval on lap 257. The question is, can he do it with just a few laps to go?
Well, Jeff Burton had a 33.5 back there just a few laps ago. Jeff Gordon's not been able to run that fast. But right now it looks like that Jeff Burton and Ward Burton are about the same speed, and Jeff Burton is running a little bit higher on the racetrack than he's been running all day.
John has a report on Jeremy Mayfield.
Well, I'm looking at the right rear tire that came off of Jeremy Mayfield's car, and we are talking major blisters on that. That's why he had to stop, change 4 tires. The right rear was blistered. In fact, a bunch of chunks out of it.
Jeff Burton a little wide coming out of the corner, but maintains the advantage. Let's see who's best among these three here. That last lap, well, by just a tick of the watch, Ward Burton was faster than Jeff. To Jerry Punch.
Tommy Baldwin, Ward Burton's crew chief, said a moment ago, Ward, stay in his tire tracks for the next 2 laps. Cool your tire for 2 laps and then go after him. All you got, we got a shot at him.
Jeff Burton, we saw him running that high line just a moment ago. I think he's afraid that his brother Ward may get on the outside of him because he knows that he's not able to run that good with a car alongside of him when he's on the bottom. Remember how hard he raced Dale Earnhardt, but he couldn't go anyplace when he was on the inside of Earnhardt. He's trying his best to keep Ward on the inside of him, not the outside of him.
There's Tabitha looking on. That's Ford's wife. We saw Kim biting her nails. Jeff's wife. Can you imagine the tension in the Burton household right now? Woof.
Right now, when Jeff Burton's now moved down on the racetrack, moved down from the lower groove, we can see he's putting some distance on Ward Burton. He's picked up his speed, too. That time, he was almost a half mile per hour faster than Ward Burton. Now he sees he's got that distance. He doesn't have to be concerned about running that high line to keep Ward on the inside of him, not the outside.
He upped the interval between himself and brother Ward Burton from 39/100ths of a second to 53/100ths of a second that last lap. So indeed, Jeff Burton is pulling away from brother Ward. Jeff comes up on a little bit of slower traffic. That's Elliott Sadler. There's Bill Davis, the owner of the 22 car, driven by Ward Burton.
His wife Gail alongside of him. As they check everything on these, there's Gail. Probably watching this on TV on the dish, and they realize that unless something happens to Jeff, that Ward is not going to catch him in the next 3 laps.
Ward Burton has been driving for Bill Davis for the 5th year now. Ward finished a career best 16th in NASCAR Winston Cup points in 1998. There is Jeff Gordon, who continues to run in 3rd spot, but he is more than 2 seconds behind. 2.1 last time and 2.6 this time. So Gordon is dropping back just a little. There's the 4th place car and another no bull contender, Mike Skinner.
He's about 4.5 seconds behind the leader. There comes Bobby Labonte. He's 5.5 seconds behind the leader.
He was the pole sitter, one of 22 drivers who broke the track record in qualifying. There's the 36 car of Ernie Irvan, who's had a tremendous run here this afternoon. He is in 6th spot. And the white flag is showing as Jeff Burton maintains that advantage on brother Ward.
So we see he's opened up to over 1 second lead. So unless this thing blows up or runs out of gas or something before he gets back to the line, it's going to be Jeff Burton.
Here is Jeff Burton coming off the backstretch, settling into corners number 3 and 4. Ward Burton pursuing, but not having a great deal of luck. Here is Jeff Burton crossing the finish line and winning the Las Vegas 400 for 1999. It's his 6th NASCAR Winston Cup victory. The crew celebrates. There is happiness all through the Exide pit. And now entering victory lane is Jeff Burton. Let's go down to the McDonald's winner's circle. Here's Dr. Jerry Punch.
We just got a soft drink shower from Jeff Burton. Congratulations. What an effort, and being able to race your brother.
That's stressful. I can't imagine being my mother, my father, and my brother, because that's got to be stressful watching. But, you know, we've always wanted it to come down to that, and it never has worked out. And we just were a little better than they were today. But I said at the beginning of the year that they'd be really tough, and I think that today showed you they hadn't had much luck beginning of the year, but they got an awfully good race team.
You knew that Ward needed to be able to stay high to be quicker than you, and you took the lane away?
Well, I knew that I had to get on the outside for sure to ever get by him, because on the bottom they could really hold you up. I felt like if I got by him, I could get away a little bit because I thought we were faster, but the car I drove in really deep just kind of took a chance, and it stuck. And fortunately, it stuck. The Exide 4 didn't get up into marbles. It was one of those last-ditch efforts, and it just stuck. And real proud of all my guys. They've done a great job with this race car. This race car's led off a bunch of laps.
All right, neither one of these Burton brothers lost. Let's check in with John Kernan.
Ward, you finished second to your brother. Not too bad.
No, it's a great run. I just wanted that one position so bad. We worked real hard for it, but that team is doing a good job for me, and that's what's going to start happening in the future. I feel really good about it. We Caterpillar and all the guys on board, we're ready to go.
Ward Burton, second place, back upstairs.
Congratulations to the Burtons. Here are the points now at the end of 3 races in 1999. Mike Skinner is the leader with Rusty Wallace 51 points behind. Thank you for joining us here this afternoon at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Telemetry provided by State Fair, the corn dog of NASCAR, proud sponsor of the number 30 car. We'll see you at Atlanta next week. This is Bob Jenkins. So long, everyone, from Las Vegas.